Hi, fire signs. Welcome to your July 2023 bonus reading. I'm going to be doing each sign separately. So, whether Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the chapters are going to be down below so you can select which one you want, and the timestamps will also be available in the comment section. Okay. First things first is I'm going to get into the meditation. In this meditation, each sign is going to represent something specifically within the meditation interpretation that I am going to make available to you. Okay, so the first thing that I saw was it was a bunch of whales, okay? And the whales were all riding together in the ocean. And they were exploring the ocean. They were going, and then they went all the way down together and they pushed through the ocean floor and they bounced and swam into another ocean. Then they did it again, and then they did it again. And on the way, one of the whales kind of died. And so there was like a mourning process, so to speak. I know that my meditations always start out really weird, okay? And then as the whales got to this next ocean, there was this huge Ferris wheel. I mean, it was gigantic, and it was partially in the ocean, like half of it, okay? And it wasn't moving. And then you guys, Aries, the representation of the whales, or the whales were a representation of Aries, and I feel the Ferris wheel was Leo. Felt like the whales just found what they were looking for, and they kept swirling around and swimming around this Ferris wheel, until the Ferris wheel started to move, and it was going, and it was going, and it was going, and then you could see the seats going up to the top and the water spilling out, and then they go and the seats would scoop up water, and then when it come out of the water, all of it would fall down. And then when I look to the shore, I see that there are a bunch of these village people. Okay. And I feel like it was a representation of Sagittarius. And they were speaking in a different language. Like, I think that they were saying, like, what is that? Blah, blah, blah. And they had these spears, and they had this paint on their face, and these little, like, things wrapped around their crotch. And they kept trying to throw spears at this Ferris wheel because they're like, what the, right? And it was like the whales were making this Ferris wheel go round and round and round. So in my meditation, the whales were Aries. The Ferris wheel was Leo, okay, larger than life, shocker, right? And the village people that were speaking a different language were the representation of Sagittarius, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with Aries, then I'm going to do Leo, and then I am going to do Sagittarius, okay? And so whichever placement that you have, make sure that you click on that one, but they can also all resonate with you, and you can also watch all of them if you would like to see the full picture or the full perspective, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, Aries. Welcome to your July 2023 bonus reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, if you have not watched the meditation, you may not understand what the hell I'm talking about, so please make sure that you go and watch it. Remember that in my meditation, you guys were the killer whales, okay? Shocker. So let's go ahead and take a look. The Seven of Swords. Are you doing something? This is your energy. So is there something that you're trying to get away with? Is there something that you're trying to protect? Because you remember that those whales, they kept swimming around that Ferris wheel, and it was like they had traveled miles and miles and oceans to see it, you know? The King of Swords, being very clear on something, making some form of decision. This is like, it's interesting because in this deck, it's called the Father of the Night, and then you have the Seven of Swords here. So this is already a lot of mental energy, a lot of thinking going into something. The Ace of Cups, but not without love. You're putting your mind to something because your heart is in it. The Tower in reverse. It feels like you're trying to avoid some type of disaster, or trying to help somebody else avoid some form of disaster. The Nine of Cups in reverse can represent selfishness. It can represent addictions. The Hermit. I just heard, I don't want to be saved. So I don't know if that's you or somebody else, and I'm not really sure why I'm getting that on the Hermit. For some of you, you could be doing something that may not be that good for you, and you could be keeping it a secret. There could be something that you're addicted to that you're keeping a secret, or maybe somebody else's. Because the Seven of Swords is like trying to hide something or trying to get away with something. The Three of Cups. Interesting that we have the Hermit here. And on the left side is the Nine of Cups in reverse. And that can talk about like going out, drinking too much, sleeping with too many people. Okay, I'm not saying that you're doing that. Or we can just talk about like a wish that you didn't fish. And the Hermit there is like, okay, I need to really figure out who I am, what I want, etc. And then you have the Three of Cups here. And the Hermit and the Three of Cups is very different because the Hermit is like, I want to be by myself. And then the Three of Cups is like, yay, let's hang out. And so, I mean, we'll have to clarify. The Star in reverse. It almost feels like you can't keep something going. Like you don't want to keep something going anymore. The Two of Wands. To clarify that Seven of Swords. I mean, there's something that your heart is incredibly attached to. And that's why you're the Queen of Wands. It tells me that you have all of the confidence in the world to be able to keep something going or to make this decision. But it's like you're making this decision alone. The Ten of Pentacles and the Four of Wands in reverse. Why is there a delay here? It feels like you're keeping something under wraps that you're deciding to do. Something that you feel very courageous about. I heard maybe not everybody's going to agree with it. And with that Ten of Pentacles, I mean, this is your legacy. This is where you're going to be in 10 years. This is what you want. For some of you, you could be trying to buy a home, but there could be some delays or frustrations, okay? The King of Cups in reverse and the Five of Pentacles. What is that Four of Wands in reverse? I heard, are you with me? The Ace of Wands. It's interesting because I almost feel like you're celebrating something in silence, but you don't want anyone else to know. Especially whoever this Five of Pentacles and this King of Cups in reverse is. Somebody who maybe took from you, somebody who emotionally manipulated you. Because it feels like you're having success in your life. You're getting that Ferris wheel going, so to speak. I need one more. Oh, well, I guess it's going to give me 3, so that's fine. The Magician, the Hangman in reverse. The King of Swords, the Nature in reverse, or the Seed of Life in reverse. The Strength card, and the Three of Swords in reverse. You're celebrating something in silence, or you're about to get ready to do something, but you're not telling anybody. And this is something that takes courage. It's something that you really want to do. It's something that you've been wanting to do. You may be asking advice from somebody, however, is what I'm kind of wondering. What is that Nature in reverse? The Caution. There's a fear here. There's a fear here of telling anybody. That's what it looks like. It's like, you know, when you tell somebody you're I just saw the Sacred Heart underneath that. The reason why you're afraid to tell somebody is because it's close to your heart. Like, for instance, have you ever had a relationship and like you kept it off of social media because you didn't want it to be ruined? Or, you know, you wanted to start a business, but you felt like your friends were going to talk you out of it. Or it's something like that. And you don't want anyone to get in your way. It's the Shadow Self, the Hangman in reverse, the Magician. You already know what you want and you already have perspective. And now we have the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Wands. They're Sagittarius. I mean, you're going to the depths, or you've already gone to the depths with whatever decision this is, or you're exploring it. You're getting down to the nitty-gritty of what it is that you fantasize about, what it is that you truly want. I heard just make sure that you're being honest with yourself, okay? The Page of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Be careful of going over the top with something because you know that somebody's watching, okay? Is it that you are trying to flex on somebody? Do you feel like somebody's watching you and so you're trying to flex on somebody? There's a bunch of choices that you have, and you finally pick one. It's like you're going for it. You may have to travel to get this for some of you. The Tower in reverse and the Sage in reverse. The Knight of Swords, the sacred fire. Burn it to the grounds. I almost feel like whatever this Ferris wheel is, it's like you don't want anybody else to, I heard, get it off the ground. You don't want anybody else to see it. You don't want anybody else to have it. But you didn't check the shore before you check the ocean. It feels like there's something here or someone here that wants something that you have or is intimidated by something that you have or something that you built or something that you're continuously growing or doing. And the reason why you don't want anybody to know about this person or this project or a part about yourself is because it took you so long to get there. And one of the whales died. One of the whales, I remember the meditation, in my meditation, go watch it if you haven't. One of the whales died on its way to go look for this freaking Ferris wheel. And it's like all that you've sacrificed, all that you've done. You're not going to allow somebody to make you go backwards or screw up all of the hard work that you've done. I heard you have no idea what I had to do to get here. Okay. Yeah, look, the shedding snake. You're afraid that somebody's going to like take all the change that you've done and just clear it right on out. Or something like that. Something that you've kept going. The Nine of Cups in reverse. The Empress in reverse. Oh boy. The Nine of Swords. The Nine of Wands in reverse. You know, I feel like you start doubting your own potential for some reason. Why is that? The karmic release. It almost feels like, you know what this feels like? This feels like the process that I saw. So you haven't gotten to this wheel yet, but you want to get there. It feels like a journey to this wheel, something that you want to get going, right? Something that almost would be impossible. Who the fuck sees a Ferris wheel in an ocean, you know? But the thing is that whale died on the way, you know? And it was interesting because all of the whales that were pushing through the ocean floor was almost like when you see a sperm like go through an egg, but not all the sperms can make it, you know? And so there's a piece of you or parts of you that have died because of it. And then you start wondering, why am I doing this? Or why do I want to keep this a secret? Or is this really me or something? And you could have somebody here who is trying to prove themselves to you for selfish reasons. And I almost feel like you need this person's validation, but it's really not that way. They need yours. And it feels like a mother figure or a feminine figure. It's like there's a worry here that this person is going to give up on you, but they're worried that you're going to give up on them. The Hermit is here. The King of Pentacles. There's a lot of earth energy. The Temperance in reverse. Don't overwork yourself, because I feel like for some of you, you're going to end up overworking yourself towards something. And then you're going to have to take like a soul break. There's an emotional exhaustion, a feeling of being tired. And, you know, it doesn't even necessarily have to be something that you're doing, okay? However, I will say this. If you have somebody around you or people around you or social media, if it's social media that's doing this, that is just taking your energy, you're not going to have any energy to get this Ferris wheel going. Ooh, honey, the masks are coming off. The masks are coming off. So with that Three of Cups and that mask in reverse, when it comes to your friends or whomever this is, okay, there's somebody here who doesn't understand you, or there's somebody here that may not have your best interest at heart. And so it's this sense of, okay, you're seeing something or someone for who they are, and you're realizing with the Sacred Heart and the Starseed in reverse, because the Starseed can kind of talk about like, you know, your galactic family, okay? But the star seed in reverse, you know, a star seed is not just like a Pleiadian, it's also like a reptilian. Okay, so if you know anything about star seeds, reptilians are kind of like the evil politicians you see, okay, or like the narcissistic people. And so I feel like with you, you may have a pure heart, and there could be somebody else who just does not. And so I'm feeling with this mask, because I want you to see this, right? This mask in reverse, I feel like there's somebody here where you're starting to realize you don't necessarily have a true friend. Let's look at that star in reverse. The Hierophant, the Devil in reverse. Wow. I heard there's no hope for you. Not for you. But I feel like you're saying that. The Four of Swords. There's a lot of healing going on. The Ten of Cups, the Knight of Wands. It's like you're realizing you're not really feeling emotionally supported with whatever project this is or relationship you're into. Now, listen, those villagers that I saw in my meditation, they were trying to stop that Ferris wheel. They couldn't understand why, first of all, it was in the ocean, what it was doing there, and why you were trying to keep it alive, or why you were investing in it or making it go, you know? And I feel like your heart's wrapped up in it, because the emotion can talk about our hearts. And I keep hearing that you have no idea what I had to do to get here, and then I just heard it took a lot of violence to be this gentle. Okay, so whatever that means. And so with that star in reverse, the Hierophant, the Devil in reverse, the Four of Swords, you're realizing that something is toxic or someone is toxic, and you're like, okay, 10 feet, bitch. You know, you're kind of taking a back seat, and you're sticking to your morals and your values, and you're just kind of looking at somebody like, there's no hope for you, bitch. You know, it's kind of like that. Wow. So remember how I told you the Ten of Pentacles? I feel like your money's going to be looking really good. Maybe you need to keep some things to yourself. Nobody needs to know why you're going, where you're going, or what it is that you're doing. Like, not everything is for everybody, you know, not necessarily posting it on social media, blah, 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 you know, or telling everybody that has an ear to listen. With that routine and growth, maybe focus on your fitness, maybe focus on your routine, your day-to-day, etc. And I feel like that's where you're going to find the most growth. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this for you with abundance. So abundance. The crows on one side of the bay know that the cannery is a source for a steady and easy meal, making gathering food an effortless task. And as a result, they spend their days enjoying their location. However, the crows who reside on the other side of the bay, where food is scarce, find searching for food much more difficult, and as a result, much of their days are spent focused on survival. The crows who do not live on the cannery side of the bay are unaware that an easy food source exists just a short distance away, nor do they have the time or energy to waste exploring areas farther away. Abundance brings a reminder that there is a place where you too will find a myriad of possibilities. Focus your energy and attention on not what you lack, but what you know is out there waiting for you. Let your intuition be your guide. Abundance may appear if you need a reminder that from your current position, you might not see what is out there waiting for you. Of course, most of the time, this card represents a positive outcome. However, because these crows can be a bit cheeky, the meaning could very well indicate an abundance of something less favorable, such as an abundance of water in your basement. So, you know, maybe ask what it is that you're going after and why it is that you're going after it. Does everybody need to come with you? Is somebody trying to screw up your abundance? Does somebody want your abundance, you know? If you do have people around you that are maybe against something, because in my meditation, the village people, I don't feel like they had bad intent. They just were like, what is that? It's almost like they didn't even know what it was. You know what I mean? And so not everybody is going to understand you. Not everybody is supposed to. That's just not the world that we live in. And so it's like, as long as you have the confidence and the, I heard the girth. Okay, I don't know what, all right. To move forward, that's all you need, okay? So thank you so much, Aries. It was an absolute pleasure. Bratty'sTarot.com is where it's at if you would like to book a one-on-one Zoom call with me or a pre-recorded reading. Also, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not. And if you'd like to check out my creative writing channel, all writing and video editing produced by me, just make sure that you look in the comment section or the bio below. I'm going to now go and do Leo. So thank you so much, Aries, and enjoy the rest of your July. Bye. Hi, Leo. Welcome to your portion of the reading. If you have not seen the meditation in the very beginning of the video, I highly suggest that you do that, or you're not going to understand what the I'm talking about, okay? So welcome to your July 2023 bonus reading. In the meditation interpretation, you were the Ferris wheel, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at Leo for July 2023. The Lovers. I want to say you have somebody that loves you, because in the meditation, you were the Ferris wheel, and I felt like these killer whales were trying to help you in some way, or push you, or help you get a move on, or you know what I mean? The Hierophant here. I feel like you have somebody that is very committed to you, or wants to commit to you, or there's something maybe in regards to your finances that you're making a big decision on, or there's I heard planting your feet to the ground. There's something that maybe you're trying to solidify. Seven of Swords. Aries got this too in a totally different deck. Maybe you're keeping something under wraps, or you're trying to avoid something, or you're trying to protect yourself in some way. Or maybe that's somebody in your life. Then you have the Six of Wands in reverse. So this is Leo energy, but it's in reverse. And it's that feeling of maybe not feeling like you're getting the pat on your back that you need. Maybe feeling like you're not proud of something that you've done, or whatever it may be. And then the High Priestess, kind of keeping to yourself. The Seven of Swords and the High Priestess is very like quiet energy. It's a protective energy. It's, I know a lot more than I say kind of energy. Then you have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like this is just you being very passionate, listening to your own internal guidance and knowing what you're passionate about, and being like, all right, I'm trying to fuck shit up, Then you have the Page of Wands. So it's interesting that we're going from the High Priestess to the Knight of Wands to the Page of Wands. And so I'm wondering if your internal guidance is telling you to kind of slow something down, or take your time with something, or kind of start at square one. And then you have the Knight of Cups. So you have two knights here. So you definitely want to take action towards something. But once again, like I said, it's that needing to reignite something. And it's interesting that you're going from the Knight of Wands to the Page of Wands, and then you're going to the Knight of Cups. So we're going from a knight action, taking action, to, okay, let me take a step back here for a second. And then we're ending in July with the Knight of Cups, which tells me that you are taking something that your heart is more drawn to or stuck to, and that's what you're kind of following, instead of something else that was more like action packed. Oh my God, I want to do this now. It's more like, oh my God, I want to do this now. It's like so corny. But that's kind of what I got with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Lovers energy. Okay. The Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, I love that. The Three of Swords. Wow. The Two of Pentacles in the upright. So I actually love this, because the Star and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. What is lost can be found, is what I got. What is lost can be found. This is interesting, because there's something that you thought was going to work out that didn't necessarily work out. Like something that maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was a business. I don't know. It feels more lovey-dovey, I'm not going to lie. And it feels like it was something that you're very attached to, something that you are still very attached to. But whatever negativity is attached to this, you seem to be letting go of it. Something that hurts you. Something that you've been attached to for a while, something that you have regrets around, or sadness around, or whatever, but you're kind of getting your head out of your ass, and you're like, all right, let's get this show on the road. And I feel like you have somebody backing you with that Lovers there, is what it feels like. Maybe somebody's helping you make a decision. Maybe you're having a reconciliation with somebody. Maybe you are finding love again, but you're very aligned with who you are. You know who you are. You're sticking to your morals, your values, etc. It almost feels like somebody's love is driving you, or somebody upstairs, or whatever, somebody that has passed on maybe is protecting you in some way. Or because I remember in the meditation, you're this Ferris wheel in this ocean, and it's like a Ferris wheel in the middle of the ocean is so out of place, but how fascinating is that? To see that, like this huge giant Ferris wheel, but you were half under the ocean. You were planted on the ocean floor. And I remember those whales, once they came, I mean, it's like they sacrificed a lot to get there, to help push you in some way. And maybe that's your own internal, maybe those are your spirit guides. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a people or a person in your life. Maybe it's someone that's passed over. And you have this push, and it's like you can't see it because it's underwater, but it's in your heart. The ocean is a representation of our emotions. And so I want to take a look at that Hierophant. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Sometimes I think that you get tired of doing the right thing, you know? Or sometimes you get tired of not flipping out, or you get tired of not being the one to say something, or it's like your feet always planted in the ground. And, you know, it's kind of like Aries. In the Aries reading I got, you don't know the violence it took to be this gentle. And I'm kind of getting that with you, because there's some emotional issues here around you and yourself and your own self-confidence. And that's what I'm kind of getting with that Six of Wands in reverse. It's like, especially if you need help with something. Is there something that you need help with? Call on your spirit. Maybe your spirit animal is a whale, a killer whale. You know, I don't know. But it's like, I don't think that it is a bad thing to ask for help when you need it. The Seven of Swords and the King of Cups. Oh, why did I just get like so like the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Cups in reverse? Can I have one more? There's somebody here who really loves you. You could be avoiding them. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse. If you're this feminine energy, you have somebody that's trying to protect you. That's what it feels like, because those whales were trying to protect that Ferris wheel. It's like there's somebody here who wants to protect you, whether you realize it or not. Because if you remember, those villagers, while I don't feel like they had bad intentions, but in the meditation, the villagers could not understand, first of all, what a Ferris wheel was doing in the middle of an ocean and why it was so big. And secondly, what the hell was making it go, right? No electricity. It was the whales that were pushing it. And so it's this sense of, what is that, right? And like those villagers didn't even know what a Ferris wheel was. And so they started throwing spears at it. And you could feel very misunderstood by somebody or by people, but you have somebody who very much loves you. And I want you to be careful, because there could be somebody who tries to use you for something. You know, it's like when somebody finds like a cave full of diamonds and they want to mine it. And then it's like, you know, somebody else finds it and it's like, okay, now we got to fight over it, you know, or something. Like, I feel like you're kind of the gem. You're the Ferris wheel in the middle of the ocean, you know, which is such a weird thing. Something about that Six of Wands, the Knight of Swords. I need a definitive card. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Be careful of doing something too impulsive, because you might miss the ball. You know what I mean? Like jumping the gun too quickly with something, because I'm afraid that you might miss the ball on whatever this is, you know? I think that you really need to take your time with something and make sure that everything is planted in the ground. Keep your stability. Keep your feet planted in the ground. You got to keep chucking along. I do see you aligning with your higher self, etc., all of that stuff, but yeah, the Hermit, the Chariot in reverse, it's like, okay, kind of chill out a little bit, because you could kind of miss the ball. You could be so quick to want to go for something that you end up missing the ball. Does that make sense? You have the High Priestess. Wow. I heard, look how far you've come. Tell me about that Judgment. Look how far you've come. There's a higher self decision that you're making where you're realizing that you don't need the fucking praise, bitch. You know, I don't need the praise. I don't need the attention. I know my self-worth and I know my self-value. I don't need a big pat on the back. I don't need some big round of applause. Like, I don't expect everybody to understand me. I'm a fucking Ferris wheel in the middle of an ocean, you know? And with those people where they were like throwing spears at you, it's like maybe they truly just didn't understand, right? They like, what the fuck, right? And I'm getting like imposter syndrome as well, Leah, which is like not very much like you, but sometimes, right? And so I'm getting like that imposter syndrome, feeling out of place, when really you need to own how different you are. Knight of Wands, the Chariot. So I feel like there's something about you that you need to revisit here. Maybe a sense of why you're doing something or why you want something or whatever, because there's something that you're passionate about and you're going for it. And I think that's great. And I'm totally encouraging that. But there's something that you missed. Because I do feel like here at some point you were rushing. You were rushing to get something done, or you were rushing to do it or start it or whatever it is. And because of that rush, you ended up missing the ball. I do think that you're having this awareness where you're like, no, I am worthy. I can have this. I don't care if people don't understand it or understand me or whatever the case is. But there's something that you're needing to revisit about you and what you want and who you are and what you hope for and your inner light and being okay with that. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, letting go of control, you know, just being you. You know, and I have a Leo rising daughter, and I'm gonna tell you a quick little story, okay? And it's gonna make me sound so bad, but I didn't have a bad intention when I said it. I was just teasing her, right? And it makes me feel like the village person. And my daughter, she's a Leo rising, right? And so she doesn't know that I watched her, but she was in the bathroom and she was like singing in the mirror and like she was like doing a whole little performance. And I said, oh, does everything have to be a performance, honey? Right? Like just joking around, not even thinking how that could possibly affect her. And she ended up crying. And I was like, oh my God. You know, and I was like, why did I say that? Like, I didn't even think about it. And I wonder if this is somebody else maybe that's impulsively does something that makes you feel like crap, but it also recenters you. And so in this story, I kind of felt like the villager. I didn't have a bad intent. Maybe I didn't understand, or maybe I envied that she, you know, had this confidence to believe she was a star in her own bathroom. You know, what was it? In my heart, I didn't want bad for her. I want her to be her. I want her to express herself. But it's like for a split second, I couldn't fathom or understand. And then I remember myself as a child and being that way. And then I became the whale. I became the whale pushing her forward. And so I started singing in the car and singing in the house and grabbing a hairbrush and doing this to encourage this energy. And so maybe there's somebody who you believe has a bad intent but doesn't. I'm wondering. Page of Wands. Seven of Cups in reverse. You know, it reminds me of that story of my daughter when she was like all full for it, Knight of Wands, right? Singing in the mirror. And then I said that because it's like I gave her a false reality check. Oh, what are you doing, right? Whatever. It's like she took a step backwards, you know? And then there's the disappointment. The Knight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords. I feel like there's a confusion. The Ten of Swords in reverse. Seven of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles. 7, 7. 7 plus 7 equals 14. 4 plus 1 equals 5. 5 equals change. I feel like there's somebody who is very invested in defending you or protecting you in some way, or protecting a dream of some sort. And I feel like there's somebody here because they're doing that and they're trying to encourage you in some way, even though they may have felt like they screwed up somewhere. Your heart's in something and you may be realizing that, or trying to understand why somebody did or said something that they said. You are taking action, but you're not necessarily offering an opportunity. You're continuing doing something that's not new to you. You keep pushing forward. And I was watching that Ferris wheel with the emotions spilling out of its seats as the whale was pushing it forward. Emotions just spilling all over the place. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the, I'm going to go ahead and do, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and do the advice portion. Sorry, brain fart. So you got observation. The crow watches the spider, intrigued by how it catches its meals. The crow could simply pluck that spider right up, but instead it decides to learn a little first. Observation asks that you hold back from reacting and take some time to analyze the situation. There may be something of value that will only reveal itself if given the time. This card may also indicate that you would be better served by being a spectator and staying out of a situation. You will learn more from listening than from talking. Are you the protector in this situation? Or is somebody that hurt you that you thought intentionally meant to, maybe they didn't have that? Because I just remember like saying that to my daughter and immediately feeling terrible about it and being like, oh my God, you know? And maybe that's you. I don't know if you're my daughter or you're me in this situation. Just something to think about. Leo, it was an absolute pleasure to read your cards. Bratty'sTarot.com is where it's at to book a one-on-one Zoom call with me or a pre-recorded reading. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you're into creative writing, I do have another channel called Where Dead Flowers Bloom. I do all of the production and all of the video editing and the writing all myself. The channel will be in the comment section and also in the bio. And thank you, Leo. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of your July 2023. Talk soon. Bye. Sagittarius, welcome to your portion of the reading. If you have not listened to the meditation, I highly suggest that you do that. You're not going to know what the hell I'm talking about, okay? So in my meditation, you guys were the villagers, all right? And you guys did not understand the Ferris wheel, why it was there, or what the Ferris wheel even was, all right? So let's go ahead and take a look. July for Sagittarius, the Magician in reverse, kind of having some self-doubt or feeling like a manifestation isn't manifesting itself in front of you, or the sense of feeling like you don't have everything that you need in order to create something that you want. Ace of Pentacles in reverse, feeling like you missed the ball, feeling like you can't plant seeds because you don't have enough information or you don't have what you need. However, with the star there, this doesn't really surprise me. This is, hope, maybe even optimism, healing, etc. in regards to your North Star, in regards to what it is that maybe you want to achieve. The Sun in reverse. This could be a sense of over-optimism, to be completely honest. Five of Swords, because that determination or that spite or something, I heard revenge, okay, is not going to stop you. The Queen of Pentacles, finances looking pretty good, focused on your money, focused on what it is that you have, nurturing what it is that you already have. Seven of Cups in reverse is telling me that you're either giving someone a reality check, someone's giving you one. This is interesting because this just showed up for Leo. How funny is that? And then, we have the Queen of Wands. So I feel like this is you feeling confident, going after something, being okay with your shadow self, being okay with your light self, or whatever you want to call it, your internal light. So that's good. I like that we're ending with the Queen of Wands. Tell me about the Magician. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. The Knight of Swords in reverse and the Tower in reverse. What are you so afraid of? That's not very like you. The Ace of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. You're holding back because you're not sure you want the opportunity. You're really not sure that you want to take a chance on something. Maybe you're comfortable with where you are, but it feels like you're just kind of taking a back seat, or you're just kind of like, okay, well, I'm not really interested in changing anything right now. I'm not really interested in learning something right now. I'm not really interested in planting new seeds. It's because you doubt yourself, or you feel like you don't have what it takes in some area of your life, which is probably false. But let's go ahead and take a look at that Ace of Pentacles in reverse. The Queen of Cups in reverse. You don't trust it. You don't trust it. You either just don't trust planting the seed, period, or it's like your heart's not in it. And I remember, it could be that you just don't understand something, Because with that Ferris wheel, right? Because you guys were the hut people or you guys were the village people. And I was like, you guys had paint on your faces, right? You were like foreign. You know what I mean? But the thing is that the Ferris wheel was foreign to you. And so I feel like there's something in your life that you don't really understand and you doubt that you even can understand it. But I feel like if you just take a little time, you could. Maybe you don't trust it. Maybe it's intimidating to you, whatever it may be. And you're focusing more so on like what you know than what you don't, you know? The Star, the Ace of Wands. Wow. However, it's what you don't know that's inspiring to you. You know what I mean? It's like something that you see that is so foreign to you. Or like, oh my God, you know, it's like it's like when we're children and we see like a magic trick and we're like, oh my God, right? Like, what the hell? And maybe some of us are scared. Maybe some of us are like, oh no, like there's something wrong, you know, or maybe some of us want to do that, or maybe some of us want to be that, but it's like, it can be intimidating or whatever, but it's still like, wow, it can be inspiring, you know, and I don't want to say like a magic trick. That's like the worst thing ever that, you know, it's like the worst analogy, but whatever it may be, you're inspired by it. With that Star and that Ace of Wands, it's something that you believe in. It's something you want to take action towards. But but it's like sticking to what you know. That's under the surface though. But I feel like you're gaining the courage to go after the unknown anyway. The Sun in reverse. The Temperance, that's you. And the Ten of Swords in reverse. Well, I get it. You know, Sagittarius, this is so you. Because there's something that you fear or something that you feel like is very foreign to you. But you're like, well, you know what? I'm just going to get over it. I'm just going to do it, right? Like, in my meditation, you were like freaked out by this Ferris wheel. And then you're like, you know what? Like, what's going on over there? You know, like maybe you're swimming into this ocean, swimming into the unknown. Because you want to know what the Ferris wheel is all about. There's something that new that you're discovering, something that you want to touch on. I do want to say this, though. I feel like you don't have all of the facts, you know? And even if for some of you, if you want to, like, listen, I'm not going to lie. For some of you, you want to take someone down, okay? But I feel like you don't understand that there's something else going on behind the scenes. Like, for instance, you couldn't understand, first of all, the Ferris wheel was being pushed, right? But you didn't see the whales. You didn't see that the whales were the ones that were making the Ferris wheel go round and round. You didn't see that. You only saw a Ferris wheel going around in circles and spilling water from the seats. And so there's something that I feel like you don't have the full picture on with that Page of Swords in reverse and the Strength in reverse. Don't be foolhardy. You know what I'm saying? You have the Five of Swords. The Three of Wands. Yeah, there's bravery here to go after something. The Devil in reverse until you realize there's a bunch of killer whales underneath. You know, and the thing is I don't feel like you have bad intent. Because that's what I was telling Leo. I was like, I don't think these villagers have the bad intent, which was a representation of you. I don't feel like they have bad intent. I just think that they didn't know what the Ferris wheel was. Like, what the hell? Trying to throw spears at it? Like, what the fuck, you know, on your land, at your home territory. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you feel like something is invading your space. Maybe you don't want to make accommodations for it, or... Yeah, Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit in reverse. This is my turf. I'm good with where I'm at. What the fuck is this? You know? It's like you don't trust it, whatever it is. But why does something become inspiring? The Empress in reverse, because you didn't have the courage to do it. I'm wondering if there's something that you felt like you weren't worthy of or you didn't have the courage to do, but you see somebody else doing it. And maybe at first, like, you hate on this person for it, or you hate on the topic, you know, like for instance, maybe in the beginning you were like, oh, astrology, that's just so stupid, right? But then like you kind of started delving secretly into it and you're like, well, I kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, maybe you like trashed it before and now you're like, yo, astrology is pretty dope, you know, or whatever it may be. That's what it feels like. You just maybe felt like it wasn't really true to you. The Two of Cups in reverse can be like, I don't understand something. There's a misunderstanding, or I don't feel connected to something. That Queen of Pentacles, it's kind of like playing it safe a little bit, is what I'm getting with that specifically. Tell me more about that Queen of Pentacles. Your money's good. Yeah, I told you your money's good. Three of Pentacles. It's like you have, maybe there's somebody, the Hierophant showed up for Leo, okay? And so I feel like there's somebody here who shares the same morals or values, but you're worried about it. Or you feel like you don't really understand this person, but you have to work with them anyway if it's a person, you know? It's like there's something that you don't understand, so you're playing it kind of safe because you don't trust it or you feel like you can't do it. And I want to tell you this analogy because it's what I told Leo. I was telling Leo in my meditation, Aries were the pushers. Aries were the whales that were pushing you around, right? Like not in a bad way, right? And then the villagers on the shore, they didn't mean any harm. They just didn't know what it was. And it reminded me of the story of my Leo rising daughter, who's also Sagittarius sun. And she was in the bathroom and she like had a hairbrush and she was like singing, right? But she was like whispering it because she's a little shy. She has an intercepted sun. And I, it was, you know, so anyway. And so I wasn't thinking when I said it, but I just blurted out, oh, does everything have to be a performance, honey? Right? And like shimmy. And I was just like joking around, but she ended up crying and it really hurt her. And I was like, dude, I felt like broken by it. You know, I was so broken that I hurt this person that I love more than anyone else in the world. And maybe it was something small to me, but it was big to her, you know? And so she cried in the bathroom. And so I had to have a talk with her. I was like, listen, you know, obviously I encouraged her. I was like, I want you to be who you are. I want you to be your most authentic self. And so I started doing stuff like picking up hairbrushes and dancing around and singing and stuff like that, you know. And I was like, you know what? It feels good to be this, you know. So it was like just for a split second, I didn't understand. I didn't put myself in her shoes. And I just blurted out something or misjudged something. In a split second, that changed a lot, you know. And so I'm kind of wondering if you are me in the situation where you didn't mean any harm with something, but it's just because you didn't understand it. Tell me about that Seven of Cups. Oh, the World. The Four of Cups. Wow, Leo got this in a different deck with that Four of Cups there and the Justice in reverse. It's like this disappointment of like feeling like maybe you were wrong in a situation. Like, hey, like we can all be wrong in a situation, dude. It's not a big deal, right? And it's like you may be kind of getting a reality check about something, you know? And feeling like maybe you should have been more supportive or should have been even more supportive of yourself. Maybe there was even something that you wanted and you shamed yourself for it, you know? Well, whatever this is with that World there, you're finally hitting the end of a cycle. And then we're going to the Queen of Wands, which tells me that you're actually going after something or trying something out. And my daughter is very much like the Queen of Wands, you know. She's very much the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is like the performer, the bad bitch, the gorgeous, you know, or handsome, whatever gender you identify with. And the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, isn't that just beautiful? What's that Lovers in reverse? The Nine of Pentacles. You could have been too stubborn or trying to control something. In a situation that actually ended up delaying your progress more than ever. Because the Emperor, right, he's more like stern, like, does everything have to be a performance, right? And the Queen of Wands is the performer. So it's like the judge becomes the performer in you, in yourself. And I think I think you're coming into alignment that you may have realized that you've been blaming yourself a little bit, but once again, you're getting to this completion stage. Your money's looking really good, by the way, in July. Just want to tell you that. You may have misjudged somebody else's individuality or something that you so desired in regards to your own individuality at the expense of yourself or someone else. And so, you know, it's interesting because it's almost like can't beat them, join them, you know, but it's like you want to. So I want some advice. Survival and anomaly. Doing something different that isn't usually you. You know, it's like, when do you ever see a white crow? Never, bitch. You know what I mean? And so I feel like there's something that you're doing that's not like you, so to speak. But let's see the survival one. So this is the card. Survival. The crow is trapped in a bush as the hungry fox patiently waits for his meal. When we are in survival mode, we are restricted. We, like the crow, cannot fly. This card calls your attention to how you are feeling about a situation. Are you hunkered down waiting for the threat to be over, or are you moving, doing your best to find a path out? When we are in survival mode, our possibilities are limited by a creative mind solely focused on getting through a difficult situation. It is in this space that we are not thinking about future opportunities, as the decisions we make are done so to simply release any immediate pain. Because of this, we risk accepting a quick fix that limits our growth. Interesting. So I'm kind of wondering if there's something that you need to do that you've never done before. Maybe misjudging a pale crow for being a pale crow when maybe you have a little bit of a pale crow inside of you. You know what I mean? Doing something different. Maybe you just been going about life, doing the same stuff. Remember when I told you, like, playing it safe, just doing the mundane, the things for survival, you know? We're waking up and we're going to the gym, and then we're going to go to work, and then we're going to go home, and we're going to watch The Price is Right, and then we're going to go to bed, you know, which isn't really like you guys, but you know what I mean? Like that simple routine where maybe there's something that you see somebody else doing, or maybe there's something you secretly want to do that may be out of your character, but is it really? Is it really? You know? Try something new, baby. I don't feel like you have bad intentions. I just feel like you are misunderstanding the misunderstood. Maybe misunderstanding yourself. So, Sagittarius, it was an absolute pleasure. Make sure that you visit BrattyTarot.com if you'd like to book a one-on-one Zoom call with me or a pre-recorded reading. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also, if you're into creative writing, I am a creative writer. I have a new channel called Where Dead Flowers Bloom. You can look it up, or you can just click the link in the bio or in the comment section below. Was that it? Yeah, I think that was it. Okay. Yeah, check out my new creative writing channel. Anyway, Sagittarius, enjoy your July 2023. I absolutely love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.